Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I want to share with you all today something that is very near and dear to my heart. And it is a little bit noisy. I've got the AC going. I apologize for that. I am in my car. I'm going to begin by reading Matthew chapter 25, verse 31 to 40. And it reads, "But when the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit upon his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered in his presence, and he will separate the people as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goat. He will place the sheep at his right hand and the goats at his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your home. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me.' Then these righteous ones will reply, 'Lord, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink, or a stranger and show you hospitality, or naked and give you clothing? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you?' And the king will say, 'I will tell you the truth. When you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me.'" And I've entitled today's message as "Being Your Brother's Keeper." In the book of Luke chapter 10, I can't remember the verses, but I'll leave it in the description box below. It states that we are to love the Lord our God with all our hearts, right? And we're also commissioned to love others as we love ourselves. And I feel that especially in these times and in the times to come, because there are more difficult times that are ahead of us. You know, there are a few prophetic voices that I honor and I respect, and they are all saying the same things. The Spirit of the Lord has revealed to them that the times that are ahead of us, you know, are even as difficult as it was in the days of Egypt. You know, there is going to be a lot of sorrow, you know, great difficulty that's coming. And so more than ever, we need to be there one for the other. We cannot sit back and hoard and keep things all to ourselves and say that we know God. You know, hoarding is out of a spirit of fear. And we know that the scriptures tell us that perfect love casts out all fear, right? Remember, the Lord our God is our provider. And so we ought to be the hands and the feet of God in these times. We need to be our brother's keepers. We cannot turn a blind eye to the hurts and the needs that are out there. More than ever, I am seeing people out there that are asking for help, right? And we can't say that we love God and walk past these people in judgment and say, you know, we don't know what they're going to do with that money, that, you know, they might use it for drugs, or they might use it for this or that. That is not our call to make. We are to be the hands and the feet of Jesus, and we are to bless, to give, to help, and leave the consequences to God, right? I remember I was downtown and I saw somebody that was asking for help, and I reached into my pocket to give that person some assistance. And you know, this man, he he started yelling at me and saying, "What are you doing? Like, are you crazy? You don't do that." And I was like, I was so disturbed. Like, who are we to stand in judgment of another? If somebody is asking for help and you are able to help, help. Leave the consequences to God, right? The scriptures tell us that we may entertain angels unaware, right? You could be in a test and not realize that you're being tested, right? But not just for that reason. You have to put yourself in the shoes of the other person and say, if it was me or someone that I knew and loved in that situation asking for help, what would I want to see happen, right? There are so many of us that are carrying kingdom resources and they're hoarding and they're fearful, right? We've got to release what's in our hands. We've got to bless and be a blessing. I have a sister that lives in Alberta, and each week she'll go out shopping, and then she will go in her community and she will ask others and say, "Do you know of anyone that's in need?" And she will hand out, these groceries to them. And I have a great friend, friends, a husband and a wife, and they store items in their basement, and when they go out shopping, they don't just buy one item, they buy a few, and then they'll put the rest in the basement and they store up, and then they hand out to orphanages and to those that are in need. And that's what we need to be doing. We need to bless and be a blessing to others. My husband and I have started a not-for-profit charitable organization in our community to help those that are in need. Because like I said, more difficult times are coming. And we need to reach out. Each one, help one, right? You might say, well, I'm going through a tough time myself. But you know what? If you don't have the resources when it comes to maybe money or, things to give of your time. I'm sure you know of a stranger, of somebody out there, maybe a neighbor that has lost a loved one, and they're lonely. Give your time. Go sit, go have a chit chat with them. Spend some time with them. A lot of people will never enter a church building. We are the only church that they will ever know. And so we need to go beyond the walls of institutions, of buildings, beyond the walls of every constraint that holds us back from being our brothers and sisters' keeper in this hour. God is calling us in this hour to reach out and help one another. We need each other. And I know for myself personally that I have had, and my family has had, the help of such wonderful strangers that has come into our lives during difficult times. And they have been the hands and the feet of Jesus in our lives. And this is what God is calling us to do in this hour. Reach out and help someone near to you, next to you, close to you, a neighbor, a friend, a stranger. We've got to help each other. Okay? I love you all, and I know that this is the heart of God for us right now, guys. And so do what you can, please. Just be the hands and the feet of God in this hour. Okay? Show the love of God to someone out there. There is a lot of need. I love you all, as I said. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, as always, to keep your sights on the things that are eternal, for it's in the eternal things that we can move beyond the walls.